night, the fifth of Seneca the Elder. 15. Often when, through the whole night, he would burn the midnight oil, from the food itself, immediately he would come to declaim. But now, what have we got here? In no way was he able to forbid from the Queen making this very hostile or dangerous thing for his body, that after food, nearly all the time, he would work by night and wouldn't allow any of this food to be digested equally through his sleep and rest. Okay, so that's what that's about. You go from food to working, and you wouldn't allow this food to settle equally. Anyway, but perturbed and dissipated in his head. Looks like they somehow think that when you eat, your food should go to your stomach and you should rest, but this food went to his head. Anyway, and so at correlatives, both the eyesight of his eyes, these would be dull. I guess working by a lantern would do that, and looks like he changed colour. Probably didn't get enough vitamin D and get a tan if he was always at working at night. The memory to him, by nature, was indeed Felix, which is lucky or good. He had a good memory. Nevertheless, with the help of his art, much. So his art and technique had helped. Never did he, what he was about to say, did he relegate it for the sake of learning thoroughly. He usually just means learning thoroughly. So the things he was about to say, he didn't do the following for the sake of learning, because it looks like there's been an explanation here. He'd learned it by heart, I guess you'd say, when he had written it. So he didn't need to reread it. Lego usually means to pick or read. Because all the more, or so that all the more, in this, is able to be seen as a bit mirably, a bit a marvellous sort of thing in this, because it wasn't slow and anxiously, but almost with the same impetus that he spoke, that he could write. So he could write as fast as he could speak. 18. These people who twist or torture the things they've written, who concerning each single word, they go into a bit of a council over each single word they're going to do. It's necessary, the things which so many times they've moved and revolved in their mind, they ad figant, they fixate on the most recent last thing they've come up with. But of these types of people, quorum cumque type of people, who have a velox or fast pen, stylus, their memory is usually slower. So generally, if someone writes fast, they've got a shit memory. In him, not only was the felicitas, which we've seen before, they're used for lucky or good, not only was he good of his natural memory, but he had the ars summa, he had the greatest art or skill or technique to comprehend the things which he ought to grasp and hold on them, and to custodian them, and to grasp what he ought to say, and then preserve what he needed to say. Adieuit correlatives, to such an extent that all these declamations, now the cumque thing, whichever these things were that he had said, he could even remember them all. Another guy with good memory. And so, he had made his codices, his books, superfluous for himself. They weren't really needed in his own case because his memory's good. For he was saying himself, the things he would write, he had in his mind, so he could remember it all. I think we all have to think of something before we write it, but this guy could keep remembering. So the cogitata, all the things which he thought up, he was able to say it ut correlatives, thus so that in no word ever did his memory deceive, accusative him. He had the utmost knowledge, notitia, of all history. Ubibat aliquem. He would order or bid someone to nominate a general, and immediately he would give back his acts, his deeds, pretty quickly, and whatever thing once had descended into his mind, promptly, impromptu, it was there at hand when he needed it. 19. I see you, vocative young man, plus more to obstuperate, to be obstupified in English, to this virtue or valors of him. Justo comes from justum, his rights or something, how good he is at being right or something. There are other things you ought to admire in this bloke that I want. This, which tantum usually means merely or only, which seems only to you, but I think it's more greatly the way it is here, which this operosa art, this it's not really burdensome, it's overwhelming art or something, some great art, is not able to be handed down. Okay, so it seems that such an art cannot be handed down to you, but I guess he's going to explain it. Okay, here's some words. Justum, that which is right or just, justice. Substantive. Qui cumque, as you know, whoever, soever, whatsoever. These things have cumque at the end. Where was I? Inside an exiguous time, that's neuter, inside a small amount of time of very small amount of days, you're able, whoever he wants, is able to do this, to have a good memory, I guess, which Cineas did, who sent as a legate from Pyrrhus to the Romans on the next day as a new man in town at Crolatives, both the Senate and all the city, which was circumfused, all the people of the plebs were surrounding him. He persultavit, which means greeted in turn, I think, everyone in the Senate and around him with their nominibuses, with their names. Bit of brackets there. Or what he did, who a new Carmen, a new poem, which was recited by a poet, he could say to be his own, basically, and immediately he could recite it in memoria, from memory. And when this guy, he, of whose song it was, he was not posset to do it, he was not able to do it. Another ought, or what Hortensius did, who, provoked by Sisenna, per sit, per usually means thoroughly, so it probably means he sat for a while, in an auction, there we go, through the whole day. And all things, and their prices, and their buyers, in order, with the, what the hell was that doing there? With the agentius, these are the bean counters, the money men, they recognised it or verified it, thus so that he was deceived in no matter, and he recounted or remembered them all. You desire to learn immediately. Your desire suspended, I will make a place here for another benefit. But meanwhile, this for you, in which I'm obligated, I'll pay up.